my channel. This is Lori from Cruisin' for Treasure. Today I'm going to show you what I have going out the door today. This is all stuff that sold yesterday, and I'm going to share a sad, sad story. So stay tuned. Here we go. The first item that sold is this lovely guy. This is Power Rangers Wild Force Green Rhino somebody. Vintage toy. It's a Transformer. And it sold full price for $19.99. Now, this is one that I probably should never have picked up, but it was a situation where I was at an estate sale and I just wanted to buy something. And so I got this. They had a ton of stuff and the cell reception was hideous. So I was able to pick up a couple figures that I knew what they were and I knew their value. And then I just kind of guessed on this guy and I did pay $8. So, and I have had it for, okay, this is weird. This happened one other time, guys. I literally bought this a year ago today and it sold. That happened earlier in another video. That's so weird. Okay, anyway, $8 into $19.99. Not my preferred target range, but we'll take it. It's still a profit. And let's see. Next, new in the box, Rudolph ornament, and this sold for $10. It's going overseas. And I typically don't pay more than $1 or $2 for my ornaments. And if I do see that they truly are new in package, especially something that is highly collectible like Rudolph, then I definitely pick it up because it will sell eventually. Okay, next. This was at a really nice thrift store that I just did not have enough time to explore in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I paid $3 for these vintage soaps, Guest soaps, and they sold for $20. I can't tip it up any further because they will fall all over the place. Here's the box. If you didn't know, vintage soaps of any, not of any kind, but many brands can sell very well. So $20, that was an offer that they sent and I accepted. Okay, next, this is a fun one, and I'm actually going to look up what I paid for this because I don't remember. It's been a while since I listed it. Oh, it's been a year. Now, this was in a lot from an online auction. I believe it was a jewelry box that I won, and it had quite a few treasures in it. And just a fun tip, or not tip, tidbit about myself. I am not a details person. When I get a lot of little small things, I get hives. Like, I don't enjoy digging through and sorting and identifying and everything. So when I won this, I won quite a bit from that auction, and I was very overwhelmed with just the sheer number of things. And so I actually just handed this jewelry box to my husband and I said, can you just sort through this and figure out what's in here? And because he's a sweetheart, he did, and he found some treasures, including this. This is a watch movement, okay? So it's what makes a watch work. The brand is Recta, which actually is right there, and it sold for $39.99. Now, it did take a year to sell, but that's fine. I don't mind that. And it's a Swiss watch movement. So $40. There were also some other really cool things. There was a set of equestrian themed like men's accessories like tie pin and cufflinks and stuff like that. That ended up selling for like $40 or $50. It was a vintage set. It was really cool. Anyway, he ended up finding quite a few treasures, and I mean, he did all the research and looked up like how much they were worth and everything. So that was really cool. Shout out to supportive spouses who help us on this journey. Okay, next, this is a boo-boo. This is part of my sad, sad story. Guys, the reselling business is not easy. It's fun, but it also has some very frustrating moments and some like oopsies moments. So this was one of those for me. This is Tiny Tim and Bob Cratchit, Department 56, Christmas Carol. And I had just listed it and somebody liked it or put it on their watch list on eBay. And so I sent them an offer for $15. I paid $2. And they accepted, they paid. So then I get a notification on my phone from Mercari, where I had cross-listed it, and it said someone liked it. I'm like, oh no, that just sold. So I went over to Mercari. As I'm trying to delete this listing, someone there bought it. So I had to send them a nice little message and say, I'm so sorry, but this literally just sold. It's no longer available. I'm so sorry. And the bummer is that on Mercari, they actually paid full price. But since eBay is my main gig and I have to keep that account clean from all nonsense, I always honor the eBay sale. And then everybody else, we will recover from the cancellation eventually, I'm sure. Anyway, but it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I hate it. Anyway, but I will still cross-list because, I mean, you can make considerably more money by doing that, but you do have to be careful and you have to be prepared that there may be times, it's rare, but there may be times where something sells on another platform and then sells on that other platform and you don't get to it in time to cancel the item. Anyway, the last thing on eBay is these set of 2 realistic trees. These are for train villages, miniature trains, setups, and such. The 2 of these sold for $10. I picked these up. I got a large lot from an online auction for just like accessories and stuff for train villages. And I decided I don't like I said before, I'm not a details person. I don't like, especially if it's a category that I am not fond of or I don't really know a lot about. Getting into the weeds, researching, looking stuff up, it's not super fun for me. So, now, if this had sold for $50, absolutely, I will dig through box after box after box. But, I mean, generally speaking, unless you have like Lionel new in the package, you're just not gonna get a ton of money from these sorts of things. So I don't actively look for them anymore. If one tumbles into my lap, great, I'll pick it up, I'll sell it, but I'm not going to try to get a huge lot from an online auction again. Anyway, okay, so the rest of my sad, sad story is this summer when my girls were home from school, we had this big project. We printed out my inventory list for Poshmark and eBay, and everything up through, I think, the middle of 2021. We removed all of those listings. I had stuff in there that had been listed 5 years ago. If it ain't sold in 5 years, it's not selling. So that's the thing with fashion is, you know, some pieces are timeless, whatever, but those are usually the pieces that are going to sell. If it's been sitting that long, it means that no one wants it, basically. That's the cold, hard truth. Anyway, so we removed hundreds of listings couple hundred, I guess, from Poshmark and eBay. And then I brought bags to Plato's Closet. I sent boxes off to ThreadUp. And some of it I just donated because it just really should never have been picked up in the first place. Anyway, so I sold a dress on Poshmark yesterday, and I just had this sinking feeling in my stomach because I just sent out the last box to ThreadUp the other day because I had tried to bring stuff to Plato's Closet and it just kept getting rejected. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just send the rest of this. That's a nice sound. I'll just send the rest of this to ThreadUp and just be done with it. I distinctly remember seeing a J. Crew velvet dress in that box. Guess what sold on Poshmark? A J. Crew velvet dress. And I looked on eBay. Sure enough, it's still listed on eBay. Looked in my spreadsheet, still on my spreadsheet. I was so meticulous when we were doing this summer because I feared this happening. As soon as my girls would locate an item, I would take it, I would find it in both of my platforms, delete it, and then remove it from my spreadsheet. Like literally delete that line item from my spreadsheet. Somehow at least one slipped through, and now all that can go through my head is how many more? So I have no time to do it, and the bandwidth in my head is just not there to do it right now. But after the new year, I'm gonna have to tackle that of just making sure everything that's in my store is in my room. Because if I can't find it, then it must be deleted because I cannot, I can't do this. It will definitely harm. Now, once in a while, canceling, it's not going to overall, as long as you're making enough other sales to make up for it. It's the percentage of cancellations that's a problem. So, once in a while is not, gonna kill you, but it cannot be a common situation. So it really is good to make sure that you know exactly what you have and where it is. So I'm going to be working on that after the new year. It is so daunting and I hate it so much, but it has to be done, right? So I am actually, I'm getting a little chatty here today, but I am working on decluttering, and I just pulled a ton of my plush because it's just, and as I'm unlisting them from my store, I'm realizing they've been sitting in my basement for 2 years, 3 years. And I mean, they're big. Not all of them, but some of them are quite large. And I'm like, why did I do this? I don't know. Anyway, so they are gonna go bye-byes. So not only will that help my mental state up here, because you just feel better when there's less clutter. Mentally, you feel better. But also it will help my store because your store is the same way. If you have your store bogged down with stuff that's just not selling and it's not getting views and purchases and offers and all of that, then the algorithm does not look kindly on those types of stores. So you got to get rid of the dead weight. So that will be the goal. I have already started that process. Anyway, that's what's going out the door today. And I have already had some other sales. And you know what? How about if we just look here? Oh, how cute. I sold a dollhouse miniature Pepsi Cola sign. That is adorbs. I thought that would sell much quicker than it did. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that cute? Can you see that? Is that at the right angle? I don't know. Anyway, that sold for $8.70. I did start another sale in my store because sales actually seem to be working right now. I set a sale for 40% off all of my oldest items. My oldest half of my store, 1,500 items, 40% off. So if you are watching this, and you are interested, you can check out my eBay link, which is in the description. And you can go on there, and if you find an item that is on sale that you would like, put it in your watch list. I send an offer. If an item is in my watch list, I send an offer for another $1 or $2 off. And then let me know in the comments or in your purchase, and let me know that you're a watcher, and I'll shout you out. Thank you so much for watching today. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.